Hello, loves. Welcome back to Let's Talk. I'm so grateful to have you here with me today. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is a space for real, honest conversations about healing, mental wellness, and personal growth. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. I truly appreciate you. Today, we're diving into something that so many of us experience but often struggle to understand: anxiety. If you've ever felt that tightness in your chest, the racing thoughts, or the overwhelming sense of worry that won't go away, you are not alone. Anxiety is a part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to control our lives. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about how we can begin to understand anxiety, manage it with compassion, and even embrace it as a part of our journey. I know firsthand what it feels like to live with anxiety. For a long time, I thought it was something I needed to get rid of. But what if I told you that instead of fighting anxiety, we can learn to work with it? Let's explore that together. So, what exactly is anxiety? A lot of people think of it as just worrying too much, but it's so much more than that. Anxiety is our brain's way of trying to keep us safe. It's like an internal alarm system that gets triggered when we feel threatened physically, emotionally, or even socially. Our nervous system is wired to respond to perceived danger, and anxiety is part of that survival mechanism. But here's the thing: sometimes our brain can't tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. It reacts the same way whether we are facing an actual crisis or just overthinking a situation that may never happen. For example, have you ever laid in bed at night replaying a conversation from earlier in the day, wondering if you said something wrong, or maybe you felt paralyzed by fear before a big decision, worried about every possible outcome? That's anxiety showing up in its many forms. And the truth is, having anxiety doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means you're human. The goal isn't to eliminate anxiety completely, it's to learn how to work through it so that it doesn't control your life. I want to share a little of my own experience with anxiety. For a long time, I didn't even recognize it as anxiety. I just thought I was an overthinker, a worrier, someone who needed to toughen up. But looking back, I can see the patterns. I remember times when my chest felt tight for no reason, when I couldn't seem to quiet my mind, when I felt exhausted from the constant cycle of what ifs. Anxiety made me question myself constantly, and it kept me stuck in a loop of fear and self-doubt. One of my biggest realizations was that anxiety isn't something to fix, it's something to understand. The more I tried to push it away, the stronger it became. But when I started acknowledging it, listening to it, and working with it instead of against it, things began to shift. I still have anxious moments. Of course I do. But now I know how to navigate them. And that's what I want to share with you today: how you can begin to work with your anxiety instead of feeling like it's working against you. There are so many misconceptions about anxiety, and I think it's important to address them. One of the biggest ones is that anxiety is just being nervous. But anxiety isn't just about being nervous or feeling nervous, right? Before a big event, or it can show up in so many different ways. For some people, anxiety looks like overthinking. For others, it's physical symptoms like headaches, nausea, or even fatigue. It can make you feel restless or make you completely shut down. It can even affect the small decisions and make you feel so overwhelmed. Another misconception is that you just need to relax or stop worrying. If only it were that simple, right? Telling someone with anxiety to calm down is like telling someone with a broken leg, just walk it off. Anxiety isn't a choice, it's a response. And healing, real healing, happens when we stop shaming ourselves for feeling anxious and start offering ourselves understanding instead. So, how do we start managing anxiety in a way that's actually helpful? Here are a few practices that have helped me and that you might find helpful too. First is the grounding techniques. When anxiety takes over, bringing yourself back to the present moment can help. Try the 5 4 3 2 1 method. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you taste. The second is breath work. Your breath is one of your greatest tools. Deep belly breathing, like inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, and exhaling for 4, can help calm your nervous system. The third one is journaling your thoughts. Writing things down can help you process and release anxious thoughts instead of letting them spiral in your mind. Another one is reframing your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or is it my anxiety talking? Often, anxiety tells us stories that aren't true. The last one is self compassion. Instead of judging yourself for anxious behavior or feeling anxious, try speaking to yourself with kindness. Remind yourself that anxiety is not who you are, it's just an experience you're having. I want to leave you with this. If you struggle with anxiety, please know that you're not alone. You are not broken, you're not too much, and you don't have to go through this alone. Anxiety may be a part of your life, but it doesn't have to define you. With time, patience, and the right tools, you can learn to navigate it in a way that allows you to live fully and freely. I'd love to hear from you. How do you experience anxiety? And what helps you through it? Connect with me on Instagram or share your thoughts with me. We are in this together. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, please take a moment to like or share it with someone who might need to hear it. I appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to be with you again in the next episode. Until then, take care of yourself and remember, you are stronger than your anxiety. Bye.